like control and of there's another feeling that I know that you're struggling with, like looking at things in a negative light, you know, coming things from a glass half full, coming at it from a glass half empty mindset, and starting from there, and which you're already losing the race right away, you know.
Right.
So I think those are really the only major, or the main things with what I'm seeing you're having issues with, to be honest. But it's the things that stem from that, though. There's so many things that stem from thinking that way in general.
And you have to think, like, when you say control, because all I could control, because I had fear, I was, on drugs because of the fear. It's fear-based, right? All I could control was until the drugs took over me, but like I'm in control, I'm in control by using the drugs to control how I'm feeling inside. So for so long in my past relation, me being a single mom, me being in a prior relationship, I had control. I was enabled to have this control. Even though everybody around me didn't know I was an addict, I still had control over everything around me, like all my choices, like whatever. It's not even just, what I want, I got. It wasn't even that. It was, I had this persona or whatever in my head, even in past relationships. Oh, it's 50-50, when it wasn't, like it wasn't 50-50. I was in control, it was, I don't know, I was in control of a lot of things, even like raising Isaac alone, even though he's a great kid, because I was so strict and on him and, controlled everything around that. It wasn't healthy. But and I think that's why I struggle, because you have to think, like, over 20 plus years, I'm in control. So now when I have a feeling, or when I have to like surrender to certain things, there's a trigger in my mind that makes me feel like I don't have control, and I'm being belittled, and I'm being controlled. I struggle a lot with that right now. Like, it's a struggle. That's the devil. It's the devil inside, And I still struggle with, the old addictive behaviors, not being able to distinguish what's normal thought process versus like the old addict thought process. It's like, though it's a very gray area, and when I can't distinguish those two, and you're trying to let me know, like, no, that's the wrong way of thinking, and then I get stuck in this whole like, no, you're wrong, like I'm right. That's when we get into butt heads a lot. And then it's hard for me, because I use the word frustrated a lot. I get frustrated and sad and in my negative moods, or whatever, because there's so much I have to fix. There's so much that I have to change in my way of thinking. I mean a lot. Okay, from the beginning to even now, like there's a lot that I had to change mentally. It gets. I'm like, I think like I can't be that messed up. Like I can't be that messed up to where I'm literally changing everything, all these wires in my head, to where I feel like, well, where's the real me? And I feel like I can't express the real me because I'm so wrong. It's, that's where it gets gray. Like I don't know where the line is of, the old me and the new me, and like what's the right way of doing things and the wrong way. And I get so sad. I do get depressed because I have so much like twisted ways of thinking,
Yeah,
it's a
like
struggle.
We were having an argument, a discussion about something,
oh my gosh.
And she's so upset, and it's just crazy, like, because I'll be like, is this really happening? Like, this doesn't make sense to you? Like this
and I'm like, this doesn't make sense to you.
Yeah.
It gets real
so
in my
crazy.
head. Like,
And then, like, I don't remember what you said, but it's just like I'm looking at her, and it's just like, and then I see it, like it's like you really don't get it, you know, and it's frustrating for me to an extent because it's like you're an adult, and then you should know this, but then you don't know this, and then like I have to change how I'm thinking of how to react to what she's saying. And not only that, it's like how, you know, it was like for me the light bulb went off in my head at that time. Like there's moments like that where I can't talk to her
like
as
when I'm really stuck in my way.
as though I'm talking to somebody else. Like I have to myself change how I'm thinking.
I'm not talking to a normal person.
Yeah, and I don't.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating on both sides, but it's also I don't want to say things that are mean or to trigger, even though it may be a fact. Like, like you know, where she'll say, you know, it can't be just me, it can't be, but you were on drugs for so long, like you're not understanding how things really work, and I don't want to just say stuff like that, so I have to think of a way to say things in a nice way. Not only that, but react in a nice way. And you know, sometimes I'm human, so sometimes I'll get frustrated, and then I don't want to deal. Also, you know, it's not easy on both parts. That's why, like in the last video, it's like if you're gonna go through this, like you have to commit and go through, because it's a lot. Or
again, like the normie and the addict.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not easy. It's not easy. But then every time I think how not easy it is for me, you know, I stop to think how easy it's not for her. You know, and to be in that situation, it's just,
Imagine how it goes on in here, and that's what's hard though, is that I honestly I don't realize that it's wrong, and then that's where we bump really hard because I get stubborn. I get you know, that negative, that devil inside of me is like, you know, no, you're just trying to control me. You know, like I know I'm not wrong. Like this, you know, like you're wrong, and it's just so hard for me to always be wrong. You know, it's like, when am I right? You know, so it's difficult. It's not easy. Yeah.
And then to be like in a repeating basis, not that you're being, when you're coming at things from a negative mindset already, a simple, maybe we should do it this way, now becomes a negative, you're dumb, you're stupid. And that's not what it means. It just means, you know, I'm trying to
that's
help
how
you figure
I
it out.
see it.
But in her head,
I filter. There's a filter that this is the negative, and you know, it's hard for me to get through that. You know, and like all I see is that negative. Yeah. I do.
It's a hard road, but with God and with patience, you know, I know you can do it.
And that's why I'm like, I was proud because, okay, so this argument that we're talking about happened argument, debate, whatever you want to call it, happened this week. And I'm, you know, and that's what makes me feel like I can see the progress that I'm making, because, you know, if this was 2 years ago and this would happen, like I already know how it would happen. Like my emotions would be through the roof, and I wouldn't, you know, we've learned we need time to think and to process things. And in the past, that separation of, okay, you're gonna go think and you're leaving me to my thoughts. Leaving me to my thoughts was like, it was like you're letting me go play with the devil, you know, like it was very dangerous because I'm like absorbed in this negative energy, and my thoughts were just going all crazy. My emotions were so crazy. And then that's when I'm like, you know, I come out the room like every 5 minutes, like needing to talk about it to get it out, because I didn't know how to process it on my own. I didn't know how to think on my own. I didn't know how to deal with these feelings like on my own. So now, like whatever happened this week, you know, I just prayed and I just was talking to God the whole time. And I'm like, you know, again, like asking for guidance and helping me understand, like, is it me or is it him? Like, because if it's really him, like, let me know, because I'm tired of me always being at fault. But there was calmness involved. There was no anxiety. There was no, like, I knew I just have to, like, be patient and be calm and, like, not base the decisions that I'm going to make off of my emotions, like trying to use logic, I'm trying to use, like, my brain, and try to filter out that negativity. Filtering out the negativity was through God, so now we sit down in, like, a calm manner, and instead of me yelling and crying, there's still crying involved, and there's still, like, raised, emotions or whatever, but that's normal, like, that's healthy, to get that out,
to an
get your
extent.
point. To an extent, yeah, but I mean, it was healthy. Like,
for you, what you're doing, yeah.
But even so,
in
like,
comparison.
this week, it was a healthy conversation, because
Yeah.
if something's bothering you, even in any relationship, if something's bothering you, you have to talk about it, and I've just learned how to talk about my emotions when I didn't know how to talk to my emotions before. Before it was me yelling and screaming and demanding and reacting. So now it was just, and I was proud of myself, because I cried a little bit, because you get emotional, but, like, there was just this calmness, and I was able to get my thoughts across more clearly and not be so scattered, with my thoughts and my emotions and whatnot.
Oh yeah, it would be night and day. Like, if I could have recorded conversations back then, and then this, and then have you sit and watch them, like, it's completely different.
We should have recorded it. Have, like, a secret camera.
Oh man, like,
that'd be therapeutic.
yeah.
Oh my God.
For both of us, really.
gosh.
Like, I never want to do that again. I'm so glad that's over.
And it's just crazy how, like, he's stuck, and that's why I get frustrated. I'm like, if we've dealt with all of that, and this is where I have to understand that it's been a long journey for him too. It wasn't easy for him to, even though I was physically, emotionally feeling all of this, like, he had to put up and deal with and help me and guide me and stand next to me this whole time. Like, so when you're at the point where you get frustrated and you're just like, not like you're done, but you're just like, I can't go on like this, I have to understand that, like, everything that I've put you through, it's a lot,
Because on one hand, it's like, we've gone through so much, we have to get through, like, all the rest
like,
of it.
how could you not go forward with, like, if that was, like, the worst, like, how could you not handle this? But it doesn't matter, like, I need to grow. That doesn't make it okay. With what I've been through, and even though I'm here now and my stuff's not as dramatic or whatever, like, I still have stuff to work out, but that's, doesn't mean, well, you have to handle me because you've dealt with that, and this is, like, a lot less. It doesn't matter. It's still stuff that we need to go through.
And then it's just frustrating when it's like, we've been through this already. The repeat visits.
But those repeats, you always use the phrase, rinse and repeat. And you're right, we've gone through the same disagreements, arguments, or issues or whatever, like, so many times. Yeah, it is like a rinse and repeat, but it's like, let's say you have, like, a dirty rag, but every time you rinse it, you are getting some dirt away. It's just, again, like, I'm rewiring in my head. Sometimes it takes me a lot longer, or, like, the way I have to learn certain things is not the normal way of that people learn certain things.
I know.
The light bulb goes off, like, randomly. You know?
It's
like, oh my God.
What was that video that we did? And you're like,
about the rant. I didn't know what a rant was. Like, you literally see the light bulb coming off in me. Like, you can tell me over and over and over. And I get that's where my stubbornness, like, it's not until it actually, like, bing, that's when I actually understand what you're saying. There's a lot of times where we'll have conversations and you're trying to teach me something or explain something to me, and I've learned to just, okay, don't react, Miranda, just listen, so I'm absorbing it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's connecting. So I've kind of learned to at least not block it. Before I would block it and be like, I'm not listening to you and I don't care what you have to say. So I've learned that, and so now I'm like, okay, I'm listening, it's coming in. So maybe, like, the third or fourth time, maybe that's when the connections are happening. Like, I don't know. It's just, I'm sorry, like it is a rinse and repeat, but it's not for nothing though. Basically, it's not for nothing.
It's not for nothing. It's like when I'm drawing, you know, I'll trace out something in light color, and then I'll go over it again with a darker color, and then I'll do my coloring, and then I'll go over it again with another color. So the fact that I think obviously we're meant for each other, because who else is gonna be able to relate to that sort of thing? It's weird. It's not me, it's God putting this stuff in my head. It's just, but he's always made me like that. I've been able to, you know, there's two sides to a story. I'm able to see both sides like clearly, generally. And
which I sometimes, you know, question.
I'm human and I get frustrated. This is a frustrating situation sometimes. Well, you know, so there's that. But just ultimately, congratulations. You know, I'm proud of you.
Me too.
It's been a road, but and you know what? I was just thinking, as it just popped in my head. It's just funny to me how, not funny, but when you were getting off, like how your doctor thought you were then starting the drugs.
I was so like, messed up. Yeah,
it's just crazy to me. My whole idea on what I thought an addict was, it's completely,
because I had such control. That's where I was like an undercover addict or whatnot. Like nobody fully knew I was an addict, and so I mean I was on top of everything. I was like perfect in everything. And then when I was going through it, that's what he meant. Like my boss, when I went to her and I explained to her, she's like, oh, like she thought it was opposite. She thought I was like starting to use drugs because of everything I was going through. So I miss being like the perfect part, you know, being like on top of it, but you know, it was unhealthy. It was false. Yeah. Everything was false.
But that's how the devil works, right? Like he'll find that good little thing in this mess, and then make you focus on that. Like, never mind all this other crap that's around it. You know, this is the good part. You know, and that's the trick. You know, it makes those lines. It just blurs those lines.
Yeah, those lines are so blurred to me too, right now, because I was just so, you know, 20 plus years of using, like, and that's why it's so hard for me to, you know, to not feel controlled, or like my mind is, you know, it's like,
yeah, but congratulations.
Thank you.
We're gonna have plenty more.
I'm a baby.
We'll be keeping everyone posted, but for now, let us know, where are you at if you're in recovery? Are you working with someone that's in recovery? Where are they at? What kind of what's your story? And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and more importantly though, just remember to keep coming back.
Stay clean.
Bye. Test it. Is it right?
You don't be telling me. You recording?
Yeah.
Did you push record?
Excuse me?
Is your ish fixed?
Is your ish fixed? Is your face fixed? For this, please. I think a lot.
What did you do?
It's like your gosh, hold on, I lost it. Say, oh my gosh, I lost myself in my own thought. Is that a tag?
No.
Girl, if that was in my this whole time. But yeah, I think it's were you about to say something?
No.
Okay, leave us a comment below, let us know, and dang it. What else you got about your? So what else about your?
I don't know. That's it. That's good.